decay,
decay, decay,
decay,
decay.
Even looked like. They were all shriveled and icky and decay. Oh, I know. It's terrifying.
Like life. Birth, excitement, growth, decay, death.
What do you think? Are you like everyone else, Dr. Cross? Do you see around you only death and decay, death and decay, death and decay?
Raging between forces of life and decay. That the survival of the forest itself depends on the outcome.
When did I start to realize that the world was
a rotting cesspool of decay and mediocrity?
No, on this day of the year, long before you were born, this heap of decay was brought here.
When I took the throne, Rome was in decay.
Over there, obviously to cover the smell of John Doe's decay, the killer didn't bring them with him.
Over and over. It is growth, then decay, then transformation.
Fearing they too would be infected by this moral decay, the Mullins felt it was time to say goodbye.
It's entropy, Lionel. Decay. We save someone, they'll still lose.
Well-being.
Well-being, well-being,
Well-being.
well-being.
Oh, for the well-being of my 533 kids.
Widespread distrust in your brother's leadership capabilities. Above all else, I hold the well-being of our country paramount.
Such as, what price does one put on the care and well-being of the mentally ill?
As I said, the safety and well-being of healthcare workers has been high on my agenda from day one.
Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate your concern for my well-being.
And you?
Oh, yeah? And why do you care so much about my well-being all of a sudden?
I don't.
All-out offensive.
For nearly a year, I have been devoting increasing attention to a problem which strikes at the very heart of our national well-being, drug abuse.
What's wrong with Sam? Honestly, I'm not sure. But I'm concerned about his emotional well-being.
Yes, that her safety is involved in her well-being.
Why the sudden concern for my well-being?
My name is John Locke, and I'm responsible for the well-being of this island.
I wanted to talk to you about Nahela's well-being, actually.
observation,
Observation,
Observation.
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 Interesting observation, observation, observation.
If you'll permit a professional observation, professional observation, professional observation.
No observation, no observation, no observation, no monitoring other than what's deemed medically necessary.
Regan wants you to go down there and put the place under observation.
Why me?
Why not you?
Not for a while. You'll be under observation.
She's going to hospital for observation. It's behind us. It's all going to go away. Bullshit.
I'm not questioning your powers of observation.
Nothing escapes your penetrating observation.
Mr. Count Riario.
What did you do?
Your observations about the shooter were spot on, Miss Westing.
My orders were clear. Man an observation post. Not
Just making an observation.
No TV for a month.
What?
You heard me. No.
Frontier.
Frontier.
Frontier, frontier, frontier.
Every day you find a new way to push back the frontiers of incompetence. Frontiers of incompetence. Frontiers of incompetence.
There's no frontier anymore. There's no frontier anymore. There's no frontier anymore.
Down there is the last great frontier of our world.
Boys are becoming men that aren't afraid of seeking out new frontiers. Frontiers.
The study of frontier sciences. Sciences rarely have the chance to
study at close hands. Let's concentrate.
Is one frontier you shall never stop exploring.
With a hankering for the wild frontier, right? And look, space, final frontier.
Benefits.
Benefits. Benefits.
Benefits.
Benefits.
You're in demolitions?
Yeah.
Early discharge, no benefits? No benefits? No benefits?
That woman and her husband had them chained in their basement, collecting their benefits, collecting their benefits, collecting their benefits.
One who killed species? Cui bono, with species dead, Tessie benefits, Tessie benefits, Tessie benefits. His death helped.
Solidarity is the most important thing here. When unions fall out, it's management that benefits.
Most civilized. I imagine there is no end to the benefits Thomas Hamilton's favor could bestow upon you.
Dead people don't want anything. It's one of the benefits of being dead.
I was dead.
And contracted Star Labs to develop enhanced gene therapies for soldiers. I was interested in the potential medical benefits for civilians.
It's got to hit home for you.
HPD is going to cut his family off from all the benefits he earned.
Right, they're going to put him on the street.
Like he has any classified government secrets or anything. Who benefits? Anybody selling bottled water or gasoline?
Did you even see this? It was on an infomercial. Insomnia, one of the benefits you see.
But, as you've insulted me, you shall not reap the benefits.
Fitness bonuses, reduced benefits. All stuff I have very strong opinions about. Then, these two are life insurance and pension forms, and they both go to the Pension Benefits Department.
Ambitious.
Ambitious.
Ambitious. Ambitious.
Ambitious.
Ambitious, she was ambitious and nipping at Mandy's heels.
Ambitious. Ambitious. Ambitious.
Right, there's nothing to like about any of it.
Then why do it?
Because he's ambitious and greedy. He's ambitious and greedy. He's ambitious and greedy.
I thought that your knowledge...
You're so ambitious, aren't you?
Look, the fund you're proposing is very ambitious. I mean, Harcourt, he'll want to see that this is a real business. He only cares about profit ratios.
This is ambitious. I know that, but...
You're ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite an ambitious plan.
Catherine is a bright, ambitious woman. She should be interviewing for that job.
I don't know, Castle. Maybe we're being too ambitious. Maybe we should consider the spring of next year.
Very ambitious. Are you ambitious, Marisol?
I don't know. I just thought you were ambitious. Like me.
Duration.
Duration. Duration.
Duration. Duration.
For the duration of this investigation, the NYPD has the full use of my knowledge and faculties.
What's that about? I think we've got the red tails for the duration. Duration.
Since I rarely hug, I'm relying on your expertise regarding duration.
I think we're there.
Oh, good. Bye-bye.
Another word, I'll have you removed for the duration of the trial.
You've already removed me for the duration of the trial.
Vital signs spike for a longer duration before flatline. It looks like a pain response.
You're in Graceland for the duration.
Do I? That's because I stayed for the duration of his interview and I saw no indication that he was lying.
I offered my assistance for the duration. You accepted.
To make this meeting happen, I should have specified we'd need to do so for the duration of the meeting as well.
Each one dumbed down to accommodate the duration of an average bowel movement. Destination, anticipate activity spectrum, weather conditions, duration of trip, etc.
Now, given the duration of the gust and the terrain obstacles, liftoff must have happened somewhere between here and here.
You two get to your mama house ASAP. What? You teenagers now.
All right? You two are staying at Schmidt's parents' house for the duration of this assignment.
Prescribe.
Prescribe. Prescribe.
Prescribe.
Prescribe.
Severe pain is the most widely prescribed prescription medication in this country.
Just a mild sedative prescribed by Dr. Tengredi. Prescribed by Dr. Tengredi. Prescribed by Dr. Tengredi. You said you saw Ben before he went to school. That's when you prescribed the oxycodone.
Yes. Hey, from the looks of things, you ought to prescribe yourself a little something.
Had it been available back then, I would have prescribed it for Emily after she miscarried.
Doctors are men who prescribe medicines of which they know little.
Oh, there. For which we prescribe the 3 Bs, bed, balsam, and broth.
Oh. For your insomnia.
For which you prescribed medication.
Yes.
Morphine?
Lance, these aren't prescribed to you. That's a felony.
What? This is ridiculous.
I've prescribed alpha blockers and set you up in our free clinic.
Actually, your insurance did.
What do I do?
I can prescribe you something.
Pigeon. 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 Pigeon.
Pigeon.
In Paris, we were members of the Pigeon Post. Pigeon Post. Pigeon Post.
Miss!
Marion!
Miss! Miss!
Just left you free. That's pigeon. Pigeon. Pigeon.
What's going on? What's going on? I don't know. The lady's crazy. She...
Hello? There is a pigeon in our house. What do I do? What do I do? Who is this?
It could get wrecked, stolen, scratched, breathed on wrong. A pigeon could shit on it. Who knows?
See the guy coming down the stairs? Now you see how he walks all pigeon-toed? The duck.
Dulisa, a little pigeon told me you can prophesy.
Highness, I can't.
4 more floating in the pond down there.
So you saw them?
I saw the pigeon first. I keep a coop on my roof.
I mean, what if next Friday 400 women turn round and say, he's too fat, he's too old, and he is a pigeon-chested little tosser? What happens then, eh?
I had this magical idea that everyone gets their own homing pigeon to respond with.
You better have a good reason you're late, because I managed to get here on time despite removing the diseased pigeon feathers from my hair.
Alibi. A dead pigeon? Seeing as you found it on the roof of his building with a slug in its belly from his 45.
After.
After. After.
After. After.
I'll get him up to $1. You get them to agree. Oh, I have yoga in half an hour. After that, this deal is dead.
Hey, Dad, there's something that I want to show you on my computer.
Grace, will you help me with the dishes?
Maybe tomorrow, after school.
Sure. I'm not going anywhere.
Now, what kind of code are we talking about here?
Well, I would call Peter's house and hang up after one ring, and then he would know that the next call was going to be from me.
After the battle, Tuss asked for the staggerer's tribute. I didn't think anything of it, but now I see.
After what he's been through, I would like to see him right at the front, fighting and, unblemished.
How long after the murder was this photo taken?
Approximately 30 seconds.
No case. It's a folder I stole from your car.
Ah, yeah. After you trashed it.
Mr. Lee, everybody else sent partners.
Everybody else sent people who abandoned you after the first meeting.
Photos at 5:30, after court.
We're spending, but we need to stay whole another 2 months. We can't scare them off with civil war.
And after 2 months?
We push her out.
We offered no deal. Mr. Ellis changed his mind of his own free will.
After the police conducted a lie detector test.
Anyway, he said, after I tell you what I'm about to tell you, I want you to go home, take your phone off the hook, and sit for a moment.
No. Can you be here too?
Yes, sure. I'll head right over after this. I'm so sorry.
Soul.
Soul. Soul.
Soul.
Soul.
The sole purpose
It's all yours. You're my sole heir, Nick. You're my sole heir, Nick. You're my sole heir, Nicholas. I want you to have everything.
There's no politician who's going to sign off on a bailout. Why would you bail out people whose sole job is to make money?
Waters. And she was known as America's little darling, the sole heiress of the Waters fortune, estimated in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
The Comte has named you, Madame, as the sole inheritor of his estate.
I have lost 17 tanks and a battalion of men leveling Amblève for the sole purpose of reducing the enemy's will to fight.
Words, merely words, shall be my sole legacy.
Up suddenly when it comes to
a criminal organization whose sole purpose is to sell drugs.
With Lorenzo and Clarice both absent, your son is the sole representative of their bloodline.
Technology whose sole purpose is to make Starling City a healthier and safer place.
Now, I am not saying that I should be the sole decider of who you mate with. If you're not attracted to the suitor, then the likelihood of conception will be reduced.
Is that leather?
Mm-hmm. It's a piece from the sole of a shoe.
Shear.
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 Sheared.
Sheer will, sheer will, sheer will. Something you know very little about.
If he's out, I'm not sure what we'll nail him on.
Well, maybe you could force him back. There's sheer will. There's sheer will. There's sheer will.
No.
Tim, please, just knowing he's not going to be here makes coming to work sheer bliss, sheer bliss, sheer bliss.
I could only sleep out of sheer exhaustion. And when I did sleep, I would dream.
We're going over backwards over a huge cliff. I don't know what that drop-off would have been, probably maybe 400 feet. Sheer rock, there was no snow on it.
What's Devil's Drop?
It's the only way to breach the ridge. It's a sheer cliff face about 500 foot straight down, but from there it is only a 4-mile hike to Annanmore.
The disturbance is another indication of the sheer power of the scar-faced bull and the aggression of all buffalo.
Okay, I had no idea the sheer number of crazies that were in the city until...
You're bound to make mistakes, if only out of sheer boredom.
He kept his house in power through sheer will.
Fascinating. Based on currents, shad populations, and sheer guesswork.
Don't tell him you're guessing.
Intervention.
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 Okay, here it is. Government intervention. Government intervention. Government intervention would have been seen as a sign of extreme peril.
It's like a drug.
I'm not sure if that's true.
Well, you're probably going to need an intervention. Maybe even need to deprogram her.
If the inmate appeals to me for intervention, how can I turn my back on him?
Oh, this is that moment.
This is your intervention.
Isn't it? This is hard, Iris.
Not perfect. And guess what? I ain't perfect.
And therein lies the necessity for this intervention. Must the galaxy be subjected to an entire planet of people like you?
And if that day happens just a bit further down the road because of Da Vinci's intervention.
Jesus Christ, again with the bullshit.
No, that's what I'm saying. There was no divine intervention. There was Briggs.
In situations like this, it's recommended that local Vesson perform a sort of intervention.
Eyewitnesses contend that numerous lives would have been lost if not for the timely intervention of the vigilante.
The virus has an extra gene now, which could have only been added with human intervention.
So it was weaponized.
Maybe.
My name is Phil Coulson. I represent the Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement Logistics Division, and you are about to enter a quarantine site.
We would have caught this guy as soon as we did.
It's highly probable that without intervention, Mr. Oakman would have begun his work on the next bride.
Guys, you put me on? Guys, I'm sitting down, I'm having a drink, I'm enjoying myself. Now all of a sudden it's an intervention?
No, come on.
Believe it was correct to assemble the United Nations coalition and to intervene, or is it time now to call that intervention a mistake?
Investment.
Investment.
Investment. Investment.
Investment.
The Sea Corps
The investment accounts, the investment accounts, the investment accounts.
To a meeting at the board of directors of Canon Ebersol.
The investment firm. The investment firm. The investment firm. What do they want to see you about?
I have no idea. Hence, large bet that the area would gentrify.
Bad investment. Bad investment. Bad investment.
Well, not entirely. He came out of it.
Associations to help you lobby.
Right. Now, we have some interest from some financial institutions regarding investment packages.
Fair enough. But we both know that investment banking is a profitable business.
The day as we were walking down the stairs, it was very, very cute.
I'm just trying to protect my investment.
You would approve of this investment. Oh. Think of it as a investment in the future.
A variance of $2.6 million on a failed investment from 3 years ago. It's authorized by my wife.
Good. I've paid you a lot of money, Fires. I expect a return on my investment.
You know, it's funny that you bring it up, Peter Mills, because I'm actually circling an investment opportunity that could be massive. Dawson.
Making an investment, I gotta make money to pay for med school, so.
Take care of you based upon what you brought to the table. So, construction, hauling, initial investment.
Don't have a lot of out-of-pocket money to do any investing, so.
Quantity.
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 If it really is CPH4, in this quantity, in this quantity, in this quantity, I'm amazed you're still alive.
I'll be frank with you. He's an unknown quantity. Quantity. Quantity.
It's a cardiac stimulant used in the treatment of congestive heart disease. Fatal in quantity. Fatal in quantity. Fatal in quantity.
Now, this was the grisly aftermath of a powerful explosion believed to have been caused by an unknown quantity of dynamite.
Normally, when transferring funds of this quantity, our clients prefer a cashier's check.
Some other way to pay the bills when career criminals aren't murdering each other in sufficient quantity.
I know you know this is significantly more complicated than the quantity of tits I have access to at any given moment.
Like, hello, sir. Hey, I know you don't know me, but would you be interested in a felony quantity of methamphetamine?
Which is?
An unusually large quantity of fresh bird excrement that I extracted from the tread of the victim's shoes.
114 meters tall.
And that's why it's visible from the cottage.
And the known quantity.
Dictate.
Dictate. Dictate. Dictate. Dictate.
It's going to dictate compensation.
Wait, this is a discussion, Cash, okay? You just don't dictate.
Hector, you don't have to sell. You can dictate. Dictate.
I'm gonna let either side dictate our fates.
Look, man, I mean, if your decisions are going to continue to dictate my future, can you at least make one that benefits me?
As a loan deductionist, should the circumstances dictate?
Your personal feelings for your husband dictate your actions in pursuit of a suspect.
Because you let your emotions dictate your actions, and it is going to get you killed.
We can't let these emotions dictate. It won't be easy.
One more message into the dome. Dale will dictate it to you.
I do not recognize your authority to dictate what is and is not my concern.
You are never to dictate what I can and cannot do.
Preferable.
Preferable.
Preferable. Preferable.
Preferable.
I explained how an open-handed slap was preferable to a punch, preferable to a punch, preferable to a punch.
Well, we want the truth, but that's not the, preferable truth. Preferable truth. Preferable truth.
Right, and the preferable truth is that nothing happened at all?
We should just talk to him. I'm sure you guys can work this out.
Certainly preferable to my plan. Preferable to my plan. Preferable to my plan.
I've lost my perspective.
No, I just think 8 years is preferable to life.
Yeah, I do. 80% certainty on this here. A ground assault is preferable in terms of collateral damage.
I'd have to marry into the throne somewhere.
What are you talking about?
As heir, Elsa was preferable, of course, but no one was getting anywhere with her. But you,
Hans.
you were so
Great.
You got any fresh squeezed juice?
I can check.
Orange is fine, grapefruit's preferable.
I'll see what I can do.
Where's your bathroom?
It's right here.
Two things became clear. Hanging myself from Edinburgh's flagpole was preferable to letting that parasite plunder my talents a day longer. I must complete my sextet. I can't do it here.
Luggage. Luggage.
Luggage. Luggage.
Luggage.
My wife, I don't notice them stealing all the luggage. The luggage. The luggage.
Sorry, sir. You've got any room, my boots, to face my luggage? To face my luggage? To face my luggage?
Terrible luggage. Terrible luggage. Terrible luggage.
Hey, I'm gonna grab your luggage, okay?
Better not bitch up, man. Wind up someone's luggage that way.
Now go and tell young Wasim to come and get my luggage from the car.
He cannot carry, he has a dicky back.
Wait, what? Your luggage? How long are you staying?
Come. Cause the foreigners are bringing over them scary ass foreign bugs, man. They coming over here in their luggage and shit.
She's gonna be scanning luggage and taking it from passengers with bad attitude all day long.
Diplomatic line. Abrir small luggage.
¿Tienes una foto?
Sí. I have one.
Okay. I need you to help me go through the luggage. I need any kind of prescription medications you can find, especially drugs that end in myosin and psyllin.
Memorial? We can't help with the guest luggage neither, and as for waiting at table, we can forget that.
Assume. Assume. Assume.
Assume.
Assume.
I don't care if it's a Yankee cap, a bowler, or even a yarmulke. Assume everyone in a hat is working with Thompson.
Never make another dollar that I don't first take 90 cents.
I can only assume that you're all as irate as I am, and you're simply too dumbfounded to speak.
That's interesting because when I hear someone yell, "Just give him the money," I assume they're conducting a robbery.
Objection. Argumentative. Mr. Rolfe already explained that he was just trying to get the victim out of there alive.
Withdrawn.
Was he just having a way?
Yeah, I think so. I assume so.
So he didn't mind?
Ah, he was glad to get out.
And tobacco. A gesture, they said, of goodwill. You want to know what I think? Well, you're listening to my show, so I will assume you do.
What can I do you for?
Well, I'm not sure how much Harry's already told you, but...
Assume he's told me nothing. Thank you.
All right, we'll see. So what did he do?
Why do you assume it's me?
Because it's always you.
I assume the presentation you three are working on will deal with those things, in addition to volcanoes and wind.
Isn't it a little racist to assume all Arabs have access to fake passports?
It's also racist to assume all Asians are bad drivers, but they are.
It's the first time I've said that out loud. By now, I assume you know that your father's been accused of a very serious crime.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that you're asking me because you're worried that I might fall off a cliff or something.
Aunt.
Aunt.
Listen to me. My auntie Dallas, she lives outside Mexico City, in the mountains, on a farm, with
You find anything?
Yeah, turns out he's a hell of a guy. Covers the expenses of his dear aunt. You're my Isaac.
Well, I can imagine how busy your schedule is. It's really great of you taking the time to come and visit your aunt. Her health has taken a bad turn.
Hold him like a parcel. Oh, it's Aunt Kitty, darling.
Hey, look who's here.
Welcome home, Aunt Helen. Oh.
Who? Auntie Bertha. Where's your aunt now? I don't know, maybe home.
Bertie's here.
Where are you taking me?
I'm getting married to your Aunt Liza. She's waiting for us at the Erie. You'll be safe there.
My flesh and blood.
It's wonderful to meet you, Aunt Liza.
You mustn't call me that in front of anyone else.
Oh, of course, I understand. My aunt was a jealous lady. She was terrified that Lord Baelish didn't love her anymore, that he would abandon her for a younger woman.
Who's that from, Papa? You seem very absorbed.
Your Aunt Rosamond.
Anything interesting?
Nothing to trouble you with.
Poor Aunt Rosamond, all alone in that big house.
Hal wants to go see the Gator Bowl.
What's in New York?
Rita's aunts.
Gator Bowl or Rita's aunt? I wonder which would be more fun.
Where would you go?
Grab.
Grab. Grab.
Grab.
Grab.
Onto my neck. Grab onto my neck. Grab onto my neck. Don't let go. Lot fights that way.
Gotta grab something. Gotta grab something. Gotta grab something.
I'll grab some beers. I'll grab some beers. I'll grab some beers.
But I suppose I could zip down and grab you another one.
Great, extra hot and 2 stevias. Oh, and while you're down there, would you mind dropping off my dry cleaning?
Hey, everybody, grab a glass. I just want to say to my best friend Brody, good luck in Hong Kong, man.
Tell me how you're all enjoying the feast. It's great. Grab a seat. Okay, I got him where I want him. I'm the dance over by the chalice. Viper, grab it. Then Crane, grab Viper and take off. What about you? I'll distract them so that you guys can get out. Then...
Here we go. Okay, if anyone tries to grab you, you just pull the string, release the ballast, and let the wind whisk you off to safety. Right? Huh?
Emily, let's go grab a cup of coffee, okay?
Yes, why not do that? Thank you. Please go with them. Stay there.
Crazy cool, right?
How did you do that?
Grab my hand. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, me and Barry were actually gonna go grab lunch.
We were? Right, yeah. Duh.
Sounds like you're hungry. How about you and I grab some dinner?
I like you, kid.
Philosopher.
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 Philosopher. Philosopher.
It's actual philosophy. Philosophy.
In quiet there is truth. Some shit like that. Something like that.
George?
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah.
Oh, you don't know a better philosophy. Philosophy.
The martial way is more than a sport. It is our discipline. It is our philosophy. It is our way of life.
Call this one a win and save the philosophy for the pub, then.
Definitely.
Hey.
Being tough on crime, capital punishment, it's all part of a philosophy that I believe in. Part of a philosophy that I campaigned on, was elected for.
Are formed mostly by our history. They, on the other hand, are formed by their philosophy, not by what has been, but by what can be.
Don't delve too deeply into the philosophy of your website. You have to offer context, but briefly. It makes you sound like a crank.
Well, not one of your other children is a sophomore at Yale majoring in political philosophy.
It's hardly surprising you agree with our patient's philosophy. You run your department like a boot camp, as if cruelty ensures performance.
There's nothing in this file about an affinity for Greek philosophy.
Hey, finishing your philosophy paper?
Yeah.
Resistant.
Resistant. Resistant.
Resistant.
Resistant.
Resistant to questioning. Resistant to questioning. Resistant to questioning.
I understand why you are resistant. You believe the loss of your will is too great a sacrifice.
Professor, why are you so resistant to doing as we ask?
I'm a detective. My work is based upon evidence, facts.
Mine too. Mine too. And aren't your facts here rather resistant to normal interpretation?
Perhaps because you weren't doing it.
We have put you through enough. Your host appears too resistant.
I'm self-righteous. I think I'm better than you. I was resistant to change. I should have grown with you.
Found them harder to keep in line, more resistant to persuasion.
Quit!
The habit of operating on somebody who's clearly resistant to help.
It's made of a reinforced tripolymer. It's heat and abrasive resistance, so it should withstand your moving at high velocity speeds.
Well, information, especially for a tech guy.
Yeah, but this wasn't just any phone. It was equipped with a state-of-the-art firewall that made it resistant to hacking.
No, I'm a graphic designer. I was for a company that designs water-resistant cell phone cases.
Similar.
Similar. Similar.
Similar.
Similar.
That's philosophy.
In a similar way, in a similar way, in a similar way, I know that I'm not alive.
Only Nathan.
Then I guess we're both in quite a similar position.
In fact, a similar occurrence took place in Venezuela for many years at Lake Maracaibo.
On this?
There's something in the video, too. It's similar to what we saw after the last heist fix.
Crazy way to meet.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really similar to a very famous movie.
Probably not.
Wings, yes. But a similar assertion could have been made prior to the invention of gunpowder.
I will remind you that you'll likely experience some side effects similar to the early stages of the virus, so...
You and Zoe were very similar.
She was a murderer.
We had a similar choice when Father died, and in the end, we let the house, but kept the land.
In the Ishveni Tower, Karen had you and Lexi in something very similar to this.
We both had ideas about what that could mean. Probably very similar ideas.
Spectator.
Spectator. Spectator.
Spectator.
Spectator.
Likely to understand everything and even accomplish something. He had nonetheless been content to enjoy life as a spectator. Spectator. Spectator.
Or dozens of possemen, 15 of them on horses, and perhaps 100 white spectators. White spectators. White spectators.
We'll put in upstream a ways. Closest place is Lake of the Woods. Not too many spectators. 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 This time of year.
Hey! You're not a fucking spectator. Get in the game.
Attention. Attention. All spectators must remain behind the barricades at all times.
I want to stay. It's fun.
No, I've said hello to everybody I need to. It's just going to get messy. It's no fun being a spectator.
I would have liked to be stood behind him at airport security.
I didn't know a garden party was a spectator sport.
Pretty though, isn't it? And hammered him, but he took it like a man, I will say that.
Hope you weren't caught up in it.
I was more of a spectator.
On the sand. Essentially, that's the angle which the spectators from the beach were watching. Still fits.
Oh, no, this is like my 6th one. But I'm just here as a spectator today.